this is the last episode of Monday Morning Coffee ever that's having my stupid fucking face on the thumbnail. That's right. I flipped again. I flipped a third time in the past 2 weeks. We're getting rid of them. I don't want to see them. I don't even want to see the Pepe anymore. Okay, I don't want to see any of these shuckle fucks. Okay, this is a serious live stream where I talk about the things that are going on in my life, my business updates, everything like that. Also, I just realized, well, that's more topics for the show. So let me do the intro first before I forget to do that. Hello, everybody. This is Monday Morning Coffee, episode 28. I have a coffee, I have a list of topics, and I'm going to keep talking about these topics until I finish the coffee. This is a particularly Starbucksy coffee. I apologize to any of the union people out there. It's not by my choice. I actually don't really like the Starbucks iced coffee. It's just what's in the fridge right now. And I need to refill my cup in time for this show, or else everybody would call me a coward. So, there are a shit ton of updates. That's right. Usually I say, oh, we're going to keep this one short. There's not too much to talk about. This time, oh, buddy. There's a lot to talk about in this one. I was thinking of, also, me starting the stream today has been very weird. So if it cuts out at any point, I apologize. But hopefully, my internet seems good. Streamlabs seems kind of wonky today. So basically what I'm saying is that it's a Streamlabs problem if the stream goes down. But I was thinking, one of the things I was thinking of doing, I think I'm actually going to cop this. It might be here even in time for the next Monday Morning Coffee. I realize, so the quality of this webcam is not very good, right? It's slightly better than like the default laptop camera. It's a Logitech Brio, which costs way more money than it's worth, so I would not recommend getting a Logitech Brio. However, I realized something genius, because I was going to get one of those like super professional cameras that like professional YouTubers get, which is like way overkill, and all I do is like talk to a screen. This might as well be a podcast, right? Like I might as well start setting up a podcast thing for this on like Anchor or whatever. So I don't want like I was thinking of getting like, okay, like the Sony Alpha 2 is like where all the professional people use, but it's also $2,000, and it's going to be a camera, and like I don't even show my face that often on this, and like it's a podcast thing, so people usually just watch or they listen to it for the audio, so it doesn't really make too much sense to do that. Then I realized, wait, hold on, I have an Android phone and a Windows desktop. Technically what I could do is I could just use the camera on my phone, which makes up for like 90% of that thing's retail price anyway, and I could just use that, and I could just attach it. And so I did some testing this morning, and I did get to work. It's a little weird how it works. It's like very insecure, so I have to work on figuring out a less hacked way to do that, but it does work. It gives me the feed. And I don't have it set up today because I don't have like a holder for it, right? So this camera is on a little clamp that like sets it up on the monitor, like most webcams do. This would not work for the phone, and I don't really have anything that would work for the phone, so I just got an independent. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm planning on getting an independent little phone stand that would just be like right in front of me, specifically when I'm recording. I plug that thing in, set up the Android, flip it, and then just have that as my recording device. That seems way better. And the quality on it is so crisp. It's just so much better. So I don't know why I wouldn't just use it that way. It seems like it's way easier to do it. So I think I'm going to do that from now on. The only problem is that it's probably going to like really fuck up the battery on that thing. But I also only do like one stream a week that's like an hour or less. So I think it'll be okay. I think my phone will survive. I'll just make sure it's 100% charged by the time that I do one of these episodes. So on to the real update. That was not a real update. That does not count. That's not part of this. That was not a real update. It's time to go to the real updates. I'm gonna go to this page. Time to go to the real updates. Most of it is related to JBR. We are amping up JBR in a big way. Basically, this last 2 weeks actually, I've been cutting a bunch of stuff. You guys have seen this on this channel specifically with, you know, the Wednesday and Thursday streams taking a hiatus, not permanently gone, but we want to focus on what we have and making good on what we have. I feel like Monday morning coffee is the thing that's kind of the most important for like everything, because I talk about like JBR, I talk about the short story stuff and all those different things. So this is kind of like a centerpiece thing. So we can definitely keep this, and then while we're trying to figure out a schedule, get rid of the Wednesday and Thursday streams because they aren't as important. Just kind of keeping things more in place, and then also the same thing for JBR, where there was originally like 50 different projects going on at the same time for JBR. You know, we had the commissioned artist database, which is now called the freelancer database, which is way simpler. The tools database, free asset directory, all these sort of like free tools that we had, and then also the individual courses. And what I decided to do was just combining all of those into a single thing, and that's just the JBR subscription, right? So it feels like that makes a lot more sense. It's now called, I'm calling it JBR Premium instead of JBR Courses, and honestly the name will still probably change from there, because JBR Premium, like, do people say premium in like an unironic way anymore? I don't know. I just use premium because it's such an easy word to say, like, oh, it's a subscription service, premium, easy, that's what everybody else says. I'm beginning to realize that that's not really a good look. I feel like they call something premium. Like, premium is almost a joke. So I might end up calling it something else. But it's called JBR Premium because it has now the courses and all the different tools. I didn't make the tools monetized, I know. The good news is that if you copped the link to one of those tools before it went premium, you still have access to it. I did not change the link on that on purpose. Eventually, at some point, you know, just as we consolidate stuff, you'll probably lose the link. Well, I mean, I guess I could just keep up that Notion page or whatever. And when I work on it somewhere else, I mean, that one's going to be deprecated, but I could still keep it up. So if you did cop it beforehand and you were worried about it being monetized, you should still have access to it. But going forward, it's going to be part of that subscription because it works two ways. One is that it actually gives me incentive to work on it because it's no longer a free thing that I'm doing. I tried to use whatever. It's free. It's free is what I'm trying to say. I was trying to say like gratis, whatever, the weird Latin. It's free. I just keep it in English. But now it's paid. Now it's part of like if you work on this thing, technically you could get money for it. That makes me more incentivized to actually keep working on it into the future. And then another big part of that is that it just adds more to JBR Premium because I feel like the courses just aren't enough. So I'd like to have just everything that we do that is like considered to be very helpful to just be in like one little box. And that way, like, all of our marketing efforts and everything can just be focused on one thing, getting people to go to one place, which I also think is very helpful. So that's what it's going to be going forward. And if you want to know more details about that, you can check out the quarterly report that was released either yesterday or on Saturday, because I did do the quarterly report over on the JBR channel, because we did reach our new quarter. It must have been on Saturday, because it's April the 1st. The link changed too. So you used to go, in order to go to JBR and learn more about JBR by going to our website, it used to be jbr-holdings.com. And I never really liked that domain name because, yes, it is, the company is called JBR Holdings, so that's correct. I feel like as an email signature, that's correct too, because if you're coming from an email, it should be like the name of the company. But JBR-Holdings as a name for like a course list or like some like resources for artists, like JBR Holdings, that sounds like a weird name. That sounds like very, very corporate, very commercial, very capitalistic, and I feel like most artists wouldn't like that. So I've been working on a system to get the domain name changed for a while, and I finally this morning hit on it. It is now called jbr.works, which is another one that's like it's a little bit confusing because it's like that's not a traditional domain name. So if you see jbr.works, you might not even notice at first that that's supposed to be a domain that like you go to. You might just be like, oh, jbr.works. I wonder what that means. So usually when it's written out, we write it out www.jbr.works. It's been out there for a while as like a shortened link, but now instead of just the redirect, it is like the main, like you will go to jbr.works. So I feel like it's just easier and it feels so much nicer. It feels way nicer. So we kept that as kind of like the official name for this sort of stuff. I don't know why, but some days, especially when I'm trying to talk oh Jesus, I shouldn't. I put myself in a trap there. On days where I'm trying to speak good, I like hit into my teeth. Like my two teeth hit into each other. Like the top teeth and the bottom teeth. Like I have to like, ugh. Like I just stop talking because it like fucking hurts. I did that earlier today. I have not done it yet in this live stream, but there's been a couple of close calls. There's been a few close calls here and there. It's like what, because I try to catch myself. If you look at earlier recordings, even of Monday Morning Coffee, which has only been around for a year, but especially if you look at earlier episodes of just anything I do, there's a lot of episodes where I am just talking at a mile a minute and you can barely understand what I'm saying, like I'm slurring my words. And so a 2023 New Year's resolution is to not talk so damn fast. Will I get there? I don't know. We'll have to see. Because the problem with talking slower also is because you become more self-aware of what you're doing. Because you're like, oh shit, I'm like recording this and like live streaming it. And like people can just walk in, and then when I'm done, like they can view the VOD. Like it's kind of weird, but you can't figure that while you're doing it. You cannot think that thought while you're performing, or else it's gonna like fuck you up. You're just gonna let it like stay silent and be like, what the hell am I doing? So I try not to think about that, but sometimes if you're trying to be self-aware of how you're talking, it starts to leak. There starts to be a little bit of leakage. So I try not to have any of that. But yeah, so we've covered the updates. So the major updates is that there's big moves for JBR courses. JBR Premium is now the official name of that. JBR.works to go to the website. You can do it right now in your little URL thingy up there at the top at JBR.works. Do it in a new tab though. Don't like close out of this to go there. But like if you open up a new tab and then put JBR.works, should link to the website. Hopefully. If it doesn't link to the website, I'm a little concerned. And then also we'll get a better camera. We'll stop using but then I spent like $200 on a Logitech Brio. So I feel like I should still use this to some extent. I could use this for like casual streams. But I feel like, especially for like video recording, because that's another reason I want to do it, is I want to have it for like video, like when I'm like actually recording real videos, because I plan on doing that for JBR. If I can record real videos on like a real ass camera, I feel like that would be nice. And it's like the phone camera is perfect. And it's great too, because even if you were just recording, because I would probably just be recording, if I was doing video recordings, I would just be recording locally onto the phone camera. But the problem with those things is that, where is the phone? Oh, the phone's over here. Except I'm wearing pajamas, so I can't like move up too much. So like the camera, the camera that's like right here isn't very good, right? So if you want to see like in real time what you're doing, you have it like this, then you'll see yourself, but then you're using the inferior camera. This weird conglomeration back here I don't. Is this like multiple cameras? Is this like one camera but with like different gadgets? I don't really know. It is quite a good camera though, but you can have it like this, where now you can't see the back, but if you have it connected to the Android phone thingy, they'll show you what you're recording on your desktop, so you don't have to like turn around and like act a bunch of weird or just like do like and pray that you get a good recording off that. So there's a lot of benefits of that. I'm kind of surprised I didn't figure that out until now. I guess I could... Should I try it to see if it works on Streamlabs? I guess that would be pretty important if I did want to set it over. I mean, we do have time. Hold on. Except, where's my good, where's a good thing to switch to, though? Because I need one that's... Shit. I don't know what... I never figure out what this one goes to. I'm always so scared when I click it. No, it's just a black screen. Okay, this is perfect. Hold on, give me a second. I want to see if I can figure this out. So I did before. So it's, oh shit, except I think I deleted the shortcut. I didn't mean to do that. I still have it installed, though. Okay, let me uninstall this one. I tried out two different ones. One of them was called Camo. It was not very good. I couldn't get it to work. The other one was called Droid Cam, which I assume because it's Android. That one worked. So that's the one I'm going to test here. You would even do it wirelessly, even though if you do it wirelessly, it's like way less secure. Because it literally just like turns your phone into an IP camera, which is like, that's like not good, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you can set up like a... Yeah, it's very weird. Okay. So I'm hoping I can just do the, Where is it? Didn't I open it? Or did I just uninstall that one? I didn't open the actual... Oh, I must have just not installed it. Okay. So you could connect over USB, but it didn't work for me when I tried that. So this one I'm just going to connect it as an IP camera. We'll just see if this works at all. I'm flipped. Hold on. I know you guys can't see it yet, but... Okay, so this, and I don't have the head cam. Hold on, I have to put this in such a way that like you can't see anything that I don't want you to see. Okay, so it's still me, right? It's still me. So this is the old camera. This is the camera that you're used to. Now, what could be? Check this out. Why is there two of them? This one? Ah, see, what could be? So this one's still not, this one, it's better, but it's not perfect, and it's because you have to buy the stupid, like, premium thing to, yeah, if you want it to have, like, your full resolution, I think you need to use, like, the, it's like a premium feature, which is stupid. But I wonder if you that's just, like, a Wi-Fi thing, because it seems like that's probably just, like, the Wi-Fi setting that does that. Whereas if you did it with like what am I trying to say? Oh, because so right now I'm doing it wirelessly, right? So it is sending data. So that might be one of the reasons why you have to do it that way. But that also wouldn't be a problem if I was recording. Well, actually, could I record? Okay, I turned this off. Turn it back to the normal one. Well, no, don't. God damn it, I hate this. Okay, yeah, just turn me off. Could I go out of here and then, like, gallery mode and then, oh, sorry, like, camera and then, like, record? No, you can't. Oh, this thing sucks. So you can't record locally. What? Well, hold on a minute. Okay, shut this off. This is stupid. Because what you could also do, if you were, and this only fixes the recording locally problem. But what you could do is set it back to the old camera. Oh, this one's still frozen. Hold on. Fuck. I need to switch it back to my real one. this should work. What you could do is you could record using this camera, and then just set it up like this. Just do it like this. So like put the I don't know what this is gonna show, so I'm kind of scared. But you set up the mic cam like this, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to record, and then it's okay, hold on, and you record it like that, and that could also work. And then you don't have to pay any money to do that. But I guess at that point, wouldn't it just be easier just to record on like? Probably be a lot easier just to record on the desktop. It didn't really make that much sense to do that. Whatever. That was a weird tangent. Yeah, there's like a separate. You have to restart your computer to run 1080, but this is a 4K camera. What if I want the 4K result? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess for like for our purposes, it wouldn't really matter. I don't know. It's weird. Like this camera's still active. Uh-oh. It's a little scary. I closed out of it. Yeah, the IP cam thing too. There might just not be a good way to do this, honestly. I might still be stuck with the Logitech Brio, but we'll have to see. Because I would like to get a better quality camera, and I think that was the higher quality, even if it was supposed to be like 360p or some shit. I mean, it just looked better. Probably because it has the Probably because the Samsung thing does like something weird with all these. I mean, there's 5 different camera-looking things on here. One of these must be making that image look better without increasing the resolution. But I don't know. Oh, and hello, Lucas. I don't know how long ago you sent that message, but I just now looked at the chat. So move on to our second section of Monday Morning Coffee. That's right, we are extending Monday Morning Coffee into the future. We are doing more with this. So originally it was just updates. Now we are including 2 things that used to be on the newsletter that unfortunately got cut. Rest in peace. The Asukari newsletter ran for about 128, I think, episodes. I guess they're not emails, 128 emails. That sounds a little bit less interesting. So hopefully this one can be more than 128. I don't know how long this one's going to be, but we'll have to see. The next part is new releases. This one doesn't have that much. We're kind of working on the same stuff, same old. No big content releases for JBR courses because we've been focusing on that merge. Feeling the rhythm on TikTok, tiktok.com/Asukari. That short series is still going. New episodes every week. I can't think of anything else that would be other, like the stream highlights on here are still going. The JBR videos are still going, but no new blog posts, no new videos. It's kind of depressing when I say it like this. I mean, we're making stuff. We're making big money moves. Okay, big money moves. We're doing a lot of stuff in here. Thank you very much. It's just not like new releases. Not right now. Focusing more on consolidating, changing, altering what's going on rather than making new content, which still sounds kind of depressing. That's really it for new releases. The next section, the third and final for this stream, but not the final one for most of these other streams. This is kind of a test run, right? But when I have more time to do these and when we really figure out a formula, there is going to be a special topics section where we do something special for a stream. I think the first one we will ever do will be when I get the Grotto Beast starter kit and going through all that stuff. But for now, There is one last section. It is called What I've Been, ... And there are 4 subsections: reading, playing, listening, and watching. This is a classic from the original Monday Morning Coffee. That is Monday Chat, for all you really old fans who are non-existent and are not here. I used to run a medium.com blog for a very short time called Monday Chat, where it was very similar to the content of this show, where I went over updates, new releases, all that sort of stuff. And at the very end, I talked about what I've been reading, playing, listening, and watching. And now I'm doing it on this show. So it fits. It's stuff I've already done. So what I've been reading, nothing too interesting. I've been reading the C programming book. That thing is very short, thank God. It's like 100 pages. It is written by, I assume, the people who invented C as a documentation guide for how to actually use C. It's a very recommended programming book. It's one of the most recommended programming books out there. I do not personally code in C, but there's enough there that, C has inspired so many other programming languages that reading that book at least once, especially since it's so short, couldn't hurt. So I decided to read that one. And then after I read that one, I do also have a copy of Automating the Boring Stuff with Python, which would be really cool, except I think in the era of ChatGPT, that stuff is probably very deprecated, but we'll see. But if it has any cool tips that I can use to automate my workflow, as the tech bros say. I've also been reading Skin in the Game by, I think his name is Nassim Taleb. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've read 2 other books from Nassim Taleb. I've read The Black Swan, and I've read whatever his first book was, Fooled by Randomness, I think. As you can tell, the second book that I read, the first book that he wrote, did not leave too much of an impression on me. I really did like The Black Swan, and I really do like this book too, The Skin in the Game, which I think it's actually his newest book. I think I read them out of order, because there's 2 other books that I was supposed to read in between those, but Skin in the Game is pretty good. What I have been playing the Steam Deck, of course. I think at this point most of my gaming all occurs on the Steam Deck. It is just the one perfect center for all of my anything I would ever want to play, and it's what am I trying to say here? It's portable, so I could just take it around with me wherever, and even if it's just within the apartment, right? So if I just want to hang out by the window in the living room and hear the birds chirping and get in the fresh air and also play Final Fantasy XIV, then I could just do that out there. And of course, if I'm actually traveling, then of course I can use that. But I haven't actually used it for traveling yet, just because I haven't needed to travel. But it's been a great purchase so far. I've used it literally every single day because it's just my new gaming system, essentially. And it works with Xbox Cloud, so Xbox Game Pass, if you have the Xbox Ultimate stuff where you can play the cloud gaming games. It works on Steam Deck. Pretty much every emulator under the sun works on Steam Deck, including notably the Switch emulation, which a lot of people use this for. And then obviously Steam games work on Steam Deck. Not all Steam games work on Steam Deck, including games that say they work on Steam Deck, but do not actually work on Steam Deck. I could not get Cyberpunk 2077 running even at the lowest settings, despite the fact that that game is certified for Steam Deck. I can only assume that they paid for that or some shit, because I played it on the lowest settings and I got it. It runs. The frame rate is fine. The frame rate is fine. That's not the problem. The problem is that you run it for 30 minutes and the entire Steam Deck overheats and crashes. And I tried that 3 times before I was like, okay, if this is going to be consistent, I don't want to cause permanent damage to my Steam Deck, so I'm just not going to bother with it. Could not get that game to work. I could not get BeamNG to work. That one also overheated, but that one was running at 5 FPS also on top of that, so I just don't think BeamNG could ever run on there. A lot of the Valve games theoretically work on Steam Deck. It's very interesting, especially because I would, in particular, on Steam Deck, I was trying to get Counter Strike Global Offensive working, CS:GO, and it runs, but the controls on it make no goddamn sense. First of all, it defaults to gyro aiming, which is just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you ever think I wanted to gyro aim? No, I just want to use the stick. And so then I use the stick, and the sensitivity on the stick is just fucked. And you can't just set the stick sensitivity, because it turns sensitivity into like 10 different options. It's like Y, yaw, X, yaw, a fucking recurve, proportionality. Like, what? I don't know what the fuck this means. I just want to set the sensitivity. God damn it. I don't know what this shit means. And it's so weird. It's especially so weird to me because they have CSGO on console. CSGO on launch came out for PS3 and Xbox 360, and the controls for those games were perfectly fine. But the especially weird thing is that when you have the default controls for the Steam Deck on CSGO, none of the controls are the same as it was on the original console version, which worked fine. Like, for example, I remember left trigger on the original game was to crouch, which was perfect because you would need to. That's essentially like, when you think left trigger, you think line of sight. Of course, there is no line of sight on CS:GO, but the way that you aim properly, you aim with more precision in CS:GO is by crouching, because you can either walk slow or you can crouch. Crouching is, of course, the most precise. So like pressing L2 as like an aim down sights, like being more precise. It fits. It is not like that though. I think it's walk, which is sort of, it makes sense kind of, but I feel like it would have been better to do crouch, so I changed it to crouch. And then the sensitivity thing, I can't figure out. I don't understand, and that's the main reason why I didn't play CS:GO on the Steam Deck. Was because the sensitivity should have been fixed. I mean, the sensitivity is fine in the console games. It's perfectly fine. There's no problem with it. But it is so out of whack. And say, like, you put it down to like 0%, like close to 0% sensitivity on the Steam Deck one, and it's still too wonky. And I don't know why. And of course, gyro aiming doesn't help either. Like, you move the controller like a little bit, and it like freaks out. And the worst part is that, like, since you're moving around and you're just like trying to hold, then your guy just is like shaking because of the gyro is off. I don't know. It's a fucking mess. But most games work on there. All the emulation stuff works on there for the most part. Xbox Cloud has no issues, and like 99% of Steam games work fine on there. But I don't know why they couldn't get their own FPS to work, but that's whatever. That's not my problem. Oh, what have I been listening to? Well, I've been listening to some new tunes, some new music. Most notably, I think the biggest release this past month has been Scaring the Hose by Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia. Both musicians I really enjoy. They announced this not too long after it released. I think it was like 2 weeks before they released it. They announced it. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise. I listened to it. Music's good. I mean, it's what you would expect out of a JPEG Mafia Danny Brown record. It wasn't like anything, insane for what you would expect them to do. Like, it's like an 8 out of 10. Pretty nice. A lot of bangers on there. A lot of definitely repeat listens, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Because I like both those guys. I like their music. And then on top of that, I've also been listening to the exact humanly possible opposite of JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, which is the Shibuya Kai genre of music, which is this very uplifting, very poppy, still experimental, but not nearly experimental in the way that JPEG Mafia is experimental. Music that comes out of Japan, more specifically in Shibuya, which is why it's called what it's called. There is a great YouTube channel that has a big selection of Shibuya Kai music. It's called Brass Contraption. The intro for the streams, the song that you listen to on the intro is from that channel. It is a Shibuya Kai track by Timothy Orchestra, more specifically, if you want an artist name. So this, I definitely recommend it. If you like the intro songs, well, if you like the intro song, there's only one song. If you like the intro song for this show, I would definitely recommend checking out Brass Contraption. I think it should be the first result if you look at it on YouTube. It'll definitely be the first result if you look up the song title, which is Timothy Orchestra Morning Brass Contraption. If you look up all that stuff into YouTube, or at least some combination of that stuff into YouTube, you'll find the channel. So that's where I get all that stuff from. And then the JPEG Mafia album. JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, of course, is a big part of that album. The last one here is Watching, but I really haven't had time to watch anything anymore. I know I was watching like Sopranos on and off, and I just don't have time to watch it anymore. Oh, I know what I've been watching. This is a good one. I just recently got back into this. Technically, this is listening, because it's kind of in like a podcast format, but it's the Geno Samuel. The Geno Samuel Chris Chan documentary. I dropped that for a while because he had dropped it because of the crazy twists and turns that the Chris Chan saga went through. He went on hiatus for a little bit there, but now he's back. And so now, of course, I have to be back listening to it. Those things are addicting. Once you get into it, they are addicting. And I try and keep like a steady pace like behind where he is, just so that I can always live with knowing that there's more out there. I don't want to like get like all the way to where he is, and then every time there's a new episode, I'm like, oh, I just finished that one right now. Because then there's going to be big periods of time where it's like, damn, I wish I was listening to the Chris Chan documentary by Geno Samuel, but I can't because I caught up. I don't want that to happen. Anyway, that is going to be it, I think, for Monday Morning Coffee. We covered everything. There's a surprising amount of coffee in here. My voice is like hoarse, and I've been like drinking this coffee because my voice is hoarse. And we got 40 minutes, which is the best time that we have had in a while, because the last couple of episodes of this have been like 5 minutes long. So I'll take 40 minutes, and I will take, I think this is 2/3 the coffee done. The coffee's also kind of dumb. I don't really like Starbucks. I'm pro-union, that's right. That's right, fellas. In case you didn't think I was pro-union, in case you thought I was too capitalist, you were wrong. Anyway, yeah, and maybe next episode, I'll figure out a good formula for that. I might not even need, I would like to, if I have a camera that is 4K, I would like to use the 4K. I would like to use the full quality of this thing, but maybe it's not that big of a deal. And I guess I could still use the hackneyed way of like doing this and then pressing the record button for like actual videos. That could technically work. So I might just do that. I don't know, we'll have to see. But anyway, that's gonna be this one. Thank you for watching. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more updates or just more like fun stuff when we start to do like fun special topic stuff. I do have a lot of things planned. I'm hoping maybe the first one will be the Grotto Beast video, but we'll have to see. Or if you want to see some of those shorts, some of those highlights. The shorts and highlights are still going to be coming out. I'm not going to be stopping those. Even though they might come out with less of a frequency on this point, but we still have so many old streams to go through that I might as well do it, and might as well keep doing it on this channel. But until then, I will see you next week with Monday Morning Coffee, episode 29. See you then.